What's
Yeah.
up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Another week. This is another week, man.
It
Woo!
is another week.
Another
Absolutely,
week.
man.
Real talk
Yes,
and real estate.
absolutely. Yes,
We are
sir.
your
Yes,
hosts.
sir.
This is Maurice. It's good to be back with man. You back from Vegas,
Hey,
man.
man, you missed out, brother.
Oh my
You
God, I saw the
missed
footage.
out, bruh.
I
When
guess
I
y'all didn't do.
say EXP know what they doing,
Uh huh.
they know what they doing. It's like they always raising the bar. I don't know
Right.
what other brokerages do for their conference. I've never been to any other brokerages conferences, but bro, they
Y'all
always
did it.
raise the bar. Yeah.
Listen,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
thought y'all was gonna leave some stuff in Vegas, but y'all put it all on the video. Y'all
Oh
put the
yeah,
video.
we had to put it out there. Let
Y'all
y'all
put it
know
out.
what y'all miss. See that's just a surface value. You just you didn't see the real stuff what was
See,
going
you
on.
see the back
Yeah, you
stuff.
didn't see all that. Yeah, you didn't see all that.
Oh my God! But y'all had
No,
an
you missed
amazing
all
time
that.
out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know y'all had an
absolutely,
amazing
man.
time. Well, we're gonna
Absolutely.
be there. I guess EXP gonna do some stuff in. I guess we're gonna release that next time. But Miami, right? Miami's coming up, so that's gonna be
Yep,
what's up.
yep,
So
yep,
we gonna definitely be there. Well, let's
yep.
do it, man. We want to pay some bills first. Let's pay
Yeah,
some
let's
bills.
go ahead and hop into our sponsor for the day.
Let's do it.
Well, our preferred partner.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Linda Garcia with Mortgages by Linda. We have over 21 years of experience in the mortgage industry, and we work with 15 different wholesale lenders to get you the lowest interest rates. We provide excellent customer service and look forward to helping you with your mortgage. Click on the ad below to
So that was our Mortgages by Linda. I actually clicked on the wrong one, but it's all good. You guys get the point. It's team 1877 team MBL. Reach out to Mortgages by Linda or mortgagesbylinda.com. Doing some great things. I'm wanting to reach out to. I got some buyers I want to reach out to, doing some deals, man. And let's go ahead and do some other deals. Pay some bills really quick. Hey, as you know, Mr. Chris Allen has his book out. Time to make a
Y'all
shift.
see it. Y'all see it.
Y'all see the
Right
book?
there. Y'all see it. It's time to shift.
Absolutely.
It's
Out
time
on
to
all
shift,
your
my friend.
bookstores and Amazons and everything
Man.
else.
So very excited about that.
Absolutely, man. And then before we get into our introduction, let's hop on our new partner.
Hi there, my name is Katrina Abdullah. I'm in the local Jacksonville, Florida real estate market. I've been licensed since 2010, where I've had the opportunity of wearing many hats and serving in many roles in our community, including single agent, being on a team, productivity coach, where I helped agents get into production. And I even had the opportunity to lead a #1 franchise office for a while. In 2020, I stepped into the role of growth partner with the Locker Room Real Estate Coaching Company. My strengths are in recruiting and attraction, where I partner with broker owners and team leaders and help them increase profitability by hiring their ideal talent. That journey led me to wanting to get healthy. I recently embarked on my own health journey where I lost 70 pounds and became an independent Optavia coach, where I help busy professionals like me and you transform their lives by taking back their health and creating healthy habits. I'm really, really looking forward to our conversation this evening. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, let's see what we got today. But before we get into this, man, if you're watching this video right now, the video comes out on Facebook, Real Talking Real Estate Facebook page. If you're watching the replay will be on our YouTube channel, Real Talking Real Estate. So like the video, share the video. Let's continue to build this community up and put out some great value for agents out there. And do your thing. We love having you guys here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So, man, we got a great show, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it today.
Man, we got a show for you guys tonight, man. For those who are in the real talk and real estate community, we love you guys. Like Maurice talked about. Thank you for rocking with us every single week. You're back here supporting and doing your thing. But tonight, I want to talk to all the real estate rock stars out there, man, because tonight you're gonna have to get ready for a transformative evening as we bring you a special episode that's all about journeys, growth, inspiration, all that kind of stuff, all rolled into one. Tonight, we dive into the world of real estate with a life-changing transformation and with our incredible guests. Miss Katrina Abdullah. She's absolutely amazing. Katrina isn't just your average real estate professional. She is a true embodiment of what's possible when you prioritize what truly matters in your life. She has a deep passion for helping agents, brokers, team leaders elevate their lives. Katrina is all about equipping individuals with the right tools, systems, models, relationships, and she can bring all that to help you in your business, to help you become very, very successful with her personal transformation. There's more to her story, though. Katrina leads her with her heart, following her priorities, which is first approach, which is God first, health, family, then business. And with those things all lined up in her mind and how she takes charge of her business with those attributes, there's no telling where she's going to go in her next level. So without further ado, I want you guys to help me welcome to the show, Miss Katrina Abdullah. You got it? That's good. Let's get it. Where we at? You got it there?
There we go.
Right there. Boom.
Oh.
Boom.
There we go.
There she is. Katrina.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you
Yep.
fine.
Perfect.
Fine.
Perfect.
Fix your hair. You get your hair all fixed up. You ready?
Yeah.
I see you. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff.
You know,
Good
just
stuff.
to make sure it's good. It's blowout season for us girls with curly hair. They know what I'm talking about. Like we have a small window where we get to have a little different look. So
Right.
Yeah,
right.
especially
Right.
in Florida.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
The immunity is
Right.
Florida. Welcome to the show. It's been a long
Thank
time, right? It's been a long time
you.
coming.
Yeah.
We finally got you on the show. You with your busy schedule. You're doing some amazing things here in Jacksonville. So
Yeah.
it was hard to get you on the show, but we finally got you.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm excited. I'm a fan of the show.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, real talk. Let's dive into it. You know, we talk offline. Myself knows you, Maurice knows you, so we know your story. We know who you are. We know the success that you're doing, and we know about your coaching. You're killing the game. So just kind of give the people who don't know you, give us a little rundown. Give us our backstory. How do we get to this point? Give us a backstory. Who is Katrina?
Who's Katrina? Wow, that's a broad question. Well, you know, real estate, you know, what's funny is I actually wanted to be a real estate agent when I was about 12 years old. My grandmother passed away, and a lot of people don't know this story, but the real estate agent came to the house to do what I now know is a listing presentation, right? And my mom was in charge of the estate. And y'all, I grew up in the hood, okay? I'm biracial. My mom was white, my dad was black. We lived in a neighborhood that was like smack dab. Like if you went around the corner, you know, my dad was like, don't go that way around the corner because you don't know what's gonna happen. And if you went a few blocks up the road, there was Syracuse University, right? So it was like so in the middle. So super diverse community. And the projects were like right around the corner. And here comes this woman, and I was supposed to go to bed, but I sat on the stairs and listened. And she smelled good. I could smell her perfume. She was a woman of color. She dressed beautifully. She had jewelry on. She drove a Mercedes. And I was like, never seen anybody like that before in our neighborhood. Right. So I thought, whatever this woman does, I want to do it. Right. So that's actually how I became inspired to be a real estate agent.
At 12 years old.
At 12 years old, yeah.
12 years old.
At 12 years old.
So New York is from where you from? New York.
Syracuse. Yep. Syracuse. So upstate.
Okay. Upstate. Okay. So what were you doing in New York? So past 12 years old, what were you doing? What was your career before real estate? Give us that backstory.
Yeah. So before I always wanted to be a journalist too.
Oh,
okay.
So yeah, I know that's something a lot of people don't know about me, but you maybe could put that together when you read my posts. There's a lot of thought in them, and you know, I try to really express myself, and it's the way I advocate and share my feelings. It's always been through writing. But so I used to actually work in the social field of like group homes, helping at youth teens. I worked in a group home for girls for a long time. And then when I came to Florida, we moved to Florida in 99, literally packed up everything I had and threw it on a truck with 2 paychecks in my pocket, no money, broke as a joke. Actually, that was like normal. I hadn't made any money at that point ever. So came me and my family, my parents, my little brother, my 2 kids. We all lived in one house together. And I got into the field of secure detention for juveniles. I worked downtown at JDC for a while. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, I realized like I have my own kids at home, and it's a lot of work to do that kind of advocacy and work. And my hats are off to those people in that social work field. So I left that field and I went into customer service. And then there was a funny story about how I got into the car business, and that's how I got into sales, and that eventually led me to real estate.
So the car business. So you were sorry. I don't know if you had one question, Maurice.
No, go ahead,
car business. So is that what gave you your love? Because customer service and car business is totally sales. Is that what gave you your love of the sales game? Tell us about the car business.
Totally. Like I got in the car business. I had no idea what I was doing. When I went in there for the interview, I didn't even know this was like MapQuest days. So I didn't even know where I was actually going to an interview at. I had no idea it was at a car dealership. And it was really funny. The GM was kind of sit at the desk and told me to turn around and said I was qualified for the next step in the interview process. And this was funny. I was in my 20s, maybe like 20. I was trying to remember this, probably like 22, 23. So I'm really young. And listen, I got in a car business. The best thing that happened to me though was this season, because I was offered professional sales training where I learned scripts and dialogue and how to talk to a customer and the sales process. And I fell in love with it. I remember my first customers were 9 p.m. at night. And when you work on a car lot, you have to lock all the cars. You have to make sure everything's locked up. And we were walking around, and there was a Japanese restaurant across the street, and these people after dinner, of course, and a few cocktails come over and want to test drive a car, and no one wanted to help them. And I said, I'll do it. And sold my first, not 1 car, but 2 cars to that couple.
Wow.
And that led to 6 years in the car business, where I did a lot of roles, went into management and leadership, but yeah.
So what kind of cars were you selling?
Well, I've sold them all because I've sold used cars, new cars, but this was a Mitsubishi dealership.
Mitsubishi. Okay. All right.
I remember I had that Mitsubishi Galant back in the day. I had that Mitsubishi Galant.
Everybody had the Mitsubishi Galant. Everybody.
Yeah, that thing was nice too.
Yeah. So now, how did you end up down in Florida? I don't know. Did I missed that part? So you guys
my mom is the youngest of 14 kids, and her sister. So when you have so many kids, it's like 2 families in one, if that makes sense, like the older half and the younger half. And we were close to the younger sister that was, older, one older than my mom. And she lived here. We would visit on the summers and stuff. And she did one last trip down here, and she said, I'm moving to Florida. Y'all can come or not. And we were all like, I guess we're moving to Florida.
Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha. That's
so
good.
Now you had the car sales business. How did that lead to real estate?
Good question. So, car sales, I met who would be my ex-husband, and had another little boy. So I had 3 kids at that time.
Okay.
And
he was selling cars too?
He was selling cars too. Yep. I was his manager.
We're not gonna go into that, but go ahead.
I don't know if that's a trend you want to like start a relationship on or not, but we did. And we had our son, who's 17 now.
Okay.
And I didn't want to go back to the car business because it's a lot of hours. It's bell to bell, open to close. For those of you that may not know what bell to bell means.
No.
It's 9 to 9 p.m. It's until the last customer leaves. It's a lot of hours. And I had already, with my other 2 children, being a young mom, being a single mom, I had already done all that. I had already pushed a lot of those hours, and I just wanted to be present with my kids and my family. So that's what led me to saying, you know what, I've always wanted to be in real estate, but I'll back up because this is a moment I just thought about the other day. My father, his birthday would have been on the 2nd of October, and he passed in 2010. And when he was in hospice and I was by his side, and we would talk about things and stuff, and he had a lot of regret, y'all. Like he had regret probably as deep as the ocean.
Oh, wow.
And it made me realize, what am I doing? You know, what have I always wanted to do that I should be doing? And he passed away. And like that next day, I signed up for the real estate course.
Wow.
Got you.
Wow.
Got you. So his regret kind of led you to not want to. Okay. Got you. All right.
Yeah.
Was there someone in the industry, in the real estate industry, that you kind of, I know the other lady was in Syracuse. Was there someone here in Florida that you kind of took a liking to, mimicked, reached out for advice? Anybody?
Not in the process. When I was in the process of getting my real estate license, I really didn't. I had a friend that was in real estate, but she was like super part-time. So I didn't really know anybody that was like killing the game or anything like that. It was really a new industry to me completely.
Got you. So what was that first year like for you then?
Well, my first year, let's see. I started as a single agent. I actually started at a very small boutique brokerage and quickly realized that, you know, I wasn't getting the support and things that I needed. So I moved to a different brokerage, a bigger one, where a friend of mine had joined and was a single agent. I got on a team that it didn't work out. And then another team in my office was hiring. And I was like, let me just give it a shot. I really like this girl. She was young. She was, you know, she had the Mercedes. She had the Mercedes.
Hold on, quick question. Was it a white Mercedes? Because that's the thing. White Mercedes are the thing for real estate agents.
That's the realtor car. A white Mercedes.
Common thing. A white Mercedes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was actually all black. Black wheels, black windows, like all black.
Okay.
So I ended up talking to her and joining the team. That was in 2010. So that's really when my real estate career really kicked off because, you know, when you're new to real estate, you don't always know where to start. Like, how do you talk to your people and what do you say? And she was a really such an impactful mentor to me. I actually still talk to her. I talked to her the other day. She just really changed my life. She helped me learn the sales process, the scripts, the dialogue, the lead follow-up, the lead generation, and gave me that support. And actually, that's where I met my best friend. That's where I met Jen. Who I know has been on the show and is a friend of the show. Yeah.
We had her on the show. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you guys are on the same team together?
Yeah, that's how we met. She'll tell the story that I walked in and, you know, us girls, we kind of like look at each other and we decide, you know, we like their vibe. Oh, I like her earrings and her dress. We're going to be friends. And that's pretty much.
So she basically sized you up when you walked in the door.
Up. I like it. Yeah. So that first year, would you think that first couple of years, was that a struggle for you? Did you pick up right away? Was there a time in that first couple of years that you felt like this is not the industry for me?
Well, I think it was probably about 6 months in the industry before I found the team, right? So yeah, I was thinking I need to go get a real job. This isn't working for me. I had a lot of realtors that as I started to lead generate, right? Because we learned about lead generation, I realized like a lot of realtors were in my circle. I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone already has a relationship with somebody. You know, I was doing open houses and knocking on doors and handing out cards, and I just wasn't getting anywhere.
Gotcha. So now real quick, so did you go full time in the real estate or you kind of tiptoeing with a part-time?
So good question. So I started full time and then I actually was working retail, a little retail job when I got my real estate license. And then I went back to that retail job for a little bit until I got a transaction.
Got you. So tell, I want, because we have a lot of people that talk about that transition from actually quitting their job, burning the boat, going full into real estate. What is your advice to those agents who are struggling with, okay, do I quit my job and go full in, or do I just kind of tiptoe back and forth between the two?
Well, funny you should ask. All right. So here's the deal, because I've trained a lot of agents. That was one of my roles, and I've helped a lot of agents. I've had this conversation with a lot of agents, and it's really hard to serve two masters.
Okay.
You know, but you got to take care of your family too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's this dynamic, and it's really about sitting down and looking at your financing and making the best decision. Because here's the thing about getting into real estate that nobody tells you, and nobody tells you this about business ownership or anything, that you are really going to spend most of your time following up with people that don't know they need what you have to offer. That's really your job. You know, and it's a grind, you know. It's really a grind. It's an everyday being willing to humble yourself. You know, you hear this stuff like, I'm willing to die for my family. You know, right now, we talk about our kids. You know, what are we willing to do for our kids? We're willing to do anything for our kids, right? Most of us have laid down our lives for our kids. Why are we willing to pick up the phone and call those leads for those kids?
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So I would say it's a personal decision.
Okay.
It's hard to serve two masters. So if you are in a position, which most people are not in a position where they can just jump into real estate full time, right? You need a plan. The plan needs to be, I'm going to work these hours on my real estate business until I make this much money selling real estate. I mean, you're already living on what you're making, right? So there's no reason to spend it. Put it aside. Once I have this much, which should be about 90 days to 6 months, a bare minimum expenses. Okay. We're not talking about comfort. We're not talking about the $100 a week for the Grubhub or DoorDash or whatever. We're talking about the mortgage, the bare essentials, right?
Okay.
You need to have that set aside or a plan to make that number. And then once you do it, you got to burn the boats. You gotta go all in, you know, and most people honestly never get to that point because they don't have a plan, you know, and when you don't have a plan, you plan to fail, right? And a lot of people get into real estate, y'all, and they think it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
We know that.
True.
Yeah. True.
We're like, oh, people got to buy and sell. People got to live somewhere. Well, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true, but they don't have to use you.
They might not buy you from you. Absolutely.
Right. So that's the missing piece, is really being willing to get out there in front of people and keep reminding them of what you do and how you can serve them.
Right. Let me ask you a question. When you let's stop right there. When you talk about, you know, do they have to use you? A lot of times we always tell the new agents, go after your family, your friends, make sure that they all know that, you know, that you're in the real estate industry. But typically your family and your friends are not going to be using you when it comes to buying their home, right? How do you keep an agent motivated when they've exhausted all of their, I guess, those initial people, and now they got to go find new people? How do you keep them motivated and in the game mentally? What do you tell them?
Well, here's the thing. We have to earn that right and honor to help our friends and family. And that's something we have to earn over time. You know, it takes 2 years for the people that we know to see us as a professional in a new field.
Wow.
It takes 2 years. So that doesn't mean, now listen, if you're listening, you're a new agent, that doesn't mean it's going to take 2 years to make any money or to have a transaction or sell your first house. I want to be clear. Okay. But for the people that already know us, they are going to be normally the last people to come around to see us as a professional. Okay. That's why being consistent, posting, having your daily activities that you do, and you do them every day, so important, because it takes time. It's not an overnight thing. And we have to have we can't just, you know, count on our sphere. We need to have, you know, other angles like open houses, door knocking, cold calling, whatever it is. Right.
Got you.
Walk us through. I don't know if you had a question, Maurice.
Go ahead.
Walk us through a day in the life of you. Walk us through the time you get up. Besides, you're in the gym. I know you're in the gym 5 o'clock in the morning, getting in 6 o'clock in the morning in the gym. So walk us through your daily activities.
Well, I can really talk about this now, but I just want to, here's the caveat. My days used to not always be like this. Okay. I've had to fight and contend and choose to live this life a certain way. So I get up at 4:30, you know, between 4:30 and 5. one of my core values is to spend quiet time with the Lord. And so I can't do that if I just jump out of bed and go straight to the gym, or jump out of bed and start getting kids ready for school and stuff. So I have to be intentional and have that quiet time and center myself first, like with the word. So that's number one. So 4:35, I'm up in the morning. I'm doing my quiet time. I do my devotion. I have my coffee. I snuggle my puppies. And then I get ready. I go to the gym. I'm at the gym by 6. Right.
Okay.
Doing some workout. I got a good little girl gang that I hang out with and go to the gym with, some partners I'm working out with. I come home, make breakfast. Recently, my granddaughter's come to live with us, and I am taking her to school. So it's kind of like juggling kids and, getting breakfast ready, planning for the day, being intentional. I count everything I eat too. So it's also pausing to put stuff in my phone and make sure. And then once I get her to school, depending on when my first appointment is, it's either right to a coffee shop close to there where I take my first coaching call on Zoom. Some days I'm in person going to an office, or I come home and I work from home. But every day consists of me. The non-negotiables are my quiet time, the gym, contending for my health by working out and eating healthy, being present, and then posting on social media, reaching out to people, reminding them of who I am and who I serve and that I want to serve them, right? And just building relationships. I'm constantly like in conversation with different people.
Got you. So now I want to talk about, you talked about coaching a little bit. So now, when did that shift happen to where you wanted to get out of production and actually go directly to coaching? What was that aha moment for you?
Well, it was kind of like, you know how when we're called to stuff, we don't really always want to step out. People of faith, we know that, right? Like we get called to something, but like, wait, I got this other plan over here. It's not that. And it was actually Jen Henry that said, hey, can you help me in my coaching program? She had a really successful coaching program. She needed some help. And I said, sure, I'll help you out. So that's kind of the catalyst that started me coaching and helping agents. And I realized I really loved it. I loved, helping that agent get that win. And I realized how important it was to have somebody they could partner with. And I remember my days back on the team. I was kind of like flailing around as a single agent until I got on a team and I learned some best practices and I had, that community. And so I just was like, well, let me just be this for these individuals. And that's kind of what propelled me into coaching.
That's good.
Gotcha.
That's good.
Gotcha.
Now you don't, your coaching program, you're not doing individual coaching, right? You're doing mostly teams and brokers. So explain the difference between, a typical coach, because we had a coach on here last week, Matt Plummer is a coach. And so what's the difference between how you're doing it and versus how Matt's doing it?
Yeah, so I'm with a coaching company called the Locker Room Real Estate Coaching Company, and I've been partnered with them since 2020. And we have a couple different models, and our coaches all have specialties. Okay. One of the most important things is that when people come to you and they desire to hire a coach, they're usually looking to fill a gap, close a gap, right? And my specialties are in attraction and recruiting and retention. So, but I'm not your girl for the P&L, okay? If you want to make that P&L look good, I'm not the one for that, right? Well, we're going to create profitability through hiring the right talent. And so we pair up with leaders who want to grow. And we also have a division that works with just agents who are looking for that individual coaching. We have group coaching available. So to answer your question, I work with leaders on an individual basis. I also work with their agents on a group basis. So the leaders get the individual coaches, the agents get the group experience.
Got it.
So I want to ask a question about coaching and mindset. So now I want to talk, it's a kind of two-part question. So now for you've been coaching for some time now. What has been the common mindset of a new agent of why they quit the business? And what that same question of a seasoned agent, because we know seasoned agents still quit the business too, not just brand new agents. Because we're talking 3, 4, 5 years, they quit the business as well. So kind of give us both sides of the brand new agent and a seasoned agent. What their mindset is like.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. So I think with the new agents, we have an 87% failure rate in our industry. Most agents do not renew their license in 2 years. Okay. And the reason they don't renew is because they haven't made any money.
Okay.
And they get out of the business because it's hard. You know, it's really easy to watch HGTV and, you know, form this romantic ideal of real estate and then get into it and realize, oh, I actually have to do the work. I have to call people. I have to follow up. I have to stay present. I have to stay consistent. You know, the mindset of social media is a waste of time. No, social media is your bread and butter. So there's all these things that people aren't willing to do, and they don't realize it's part of real estate. And I think, honestly, I blame the process to get into real estate. You know, when an agent comes, somebody wants to be a real estate agent, they do what? They take the real estate course.
Yep.
The real estate course doesn't teach you anything about what you're going to have to do to get a client, keep a client, about running your business. You know, most brokers,
don't know either.
Their P&Ls are a mess. So they don't even know how to teach an agent how to be profitable or lead with revenue. So then we have these experienced agents that end up getting out of the business because misallocated funds. They're burnt out. No one ever taught them how to leverage, how to hire talent, build out a system so that they're not the only ones doing everything, right?
Got you. So let me ask you this. Your best friend Jen was on the show, and I want to get your thoughts on what she said when we asked her the same question. She said because agents are lazy. Now, what are your thoughts on that? Because Jen was keeping it real. And this real talk, so I want to get your thoughts on it.
I agree. I agree.
Talk that talk, man.
Listen, she's my bestie. Okay, I'm going to ride with her. I'm riding with her. I mean, that's true. Agents are lazy, but people are lazy in general. You know, to really get what you want, it takes intentionality. It takes getting up every day and contending for that. And most people just want what falls in their lap. Well, what falls in your lap as a real estate agent is 4 to 6 deals a year. That's what falls in your lap. And that's not an income that most people can live on independently.
Wow.
Got you.
That's good. No, you talked a little bit about social media. Do you think that social media has helped our industry? Has it crippled our industry? Has it made us more lazy? What's your thought on social media and in our profession?
Has it made us more lazy? Yes and no. So people think I posted I was in real estate and 6 months ago.
Our team said it, didn't it?
I mean, I posted 6 months ago. I was in real estate and, I saw my best friend bought a house with somebody else. But, did they even see what does that even mean? You have to do more. It's just kind of like as Christian business owners, this is something I deal with all the time because I do a lot of Christian business owners and entrepreneurs seek me out. My content, resonates with them. They want to work with somebody who has the same value system that they do. And I hear this all the time. Well, I know the Lord's going to send me the business I need and the agents I need. I'm like, yes, when you call them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to do the work, y'all. We're created able-bodied. We're put in a position. We're given a talent. And it's selfish of us not to do what we need to do with it. So to answer your question, yes, because some people think I just need to post and I can just walk away and that's all I need to do. When really what we need to do is follow up. We need to, reach out to those people liking our posts, and we need to be present and consistent to earn that business. It's a tool. It's not an answer. It's a tool, not an answer.
Gotcha.
Knowing what you know now, being in the industry for the amount of time that you've been, because you're a seasoned vet now. You've been in the game and you've had some huge wins. Knowing what you know now, if you had to go back and talk to that first couple of years, Katrina, what advice would you give her to help her in this career?
I think number one, I would be focus on setting up my business like a business. I would be paying myself. I would be making sure I'm allocating the proper percentage for taxes and putting that aside. Somebody needed to tell me the whole check wasn't mine.
Wow.
Right. I learned that later.
Mm-hmm.
And praise the Lord, I didn't pay a high price for it or anything like that. Thank you. But, I had to learn it later on. It's not something I understood. Right. And I think when you're making a lot of money, it's really easy to forget those business practices, especially when they're not really put in front of you. And I also think I would have told myself, stay consistent. I've had periods where I've been consistent and not so consistent. It's really taken me a long time to be a consistent person, even though I've always wanted to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask the question. So we've talked about a few things. You mentioned something in the beginning about your fitness journey and that you fact that you lost 70 pounds. So definitely bravo on that.
Thank you.
Really amazing. So what was your mindset like? Because that's not just like 5 pounds in a couple of weeks. 70 pounds that's a lot.
That's a lot.
How did you get over that hump to where you could continue on to move forward and lose that weight?
That's good.
Well, that's good, right? Well, I had the desire to be a healthy person.
Okay.
I was always I was always working out. I was trying different things.
Mm-hmm.
I quit drinking. I, went vegan, like all these different things to, for my well-being, but also the main goal, I wanted to be healthy.
Okay.
And I actually ended up getting really, really sick and I was hospitalized, and it was because I had systemic inflammation. And there's a couple of reasons. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to do any diagnosing here, but I had conviction in my heart that this inflammation was from being overweight. And the paperwork on my discharge said obese.
Mm.
And in my mind, when I closed my eyes, I didn't see myself as obese, right? But I knew I need to get healthy because I don't want to live a life of sickness, of medications and things like that. And I actually called my coach up, my health coach up, who I had already talked to about the program that I did. And I had already said no. And I told her, you know what? I need to be open to something new. I'm apprehensive, but I'm hopeful. And I said, here's my credit card. Let's go. And that's what I did.
How long did it take?
So I started in June of 2022, and I hit my goal weight, my original goal weight, in January of 2023 by my birthday.
Okay.
And then I've lost another 5 pounds since then. So I'm on to my second half of the journey, which is building muscle, toning, getting strong. Just, what I've learned about the health journey is like, you always have to have a goal.
Yeah.
You always have to have whatever it is. It's not always the scale moving, but it could be to get stronger, to build endurance. Maybe you want to become a runner. Whatever it is, you need a goal.
Okay.
And I don't know if I don't know if I missed this, but you talked about, and excuse me if I did miss it. You talked about a coach. Was that a real estate coach that you were talking to that led you on the health journey? I don't know if I missed that or not.
No, it was a health coach. It was an independent coach like I am now. She actually was on my social media, and she had been actively pursuing me. And this is what I want to say is that we think we can reach out to somebody one time. But the thing is, we need to keep in touch with people, because people eventually will get to the end of themselves. And that's when they're in the pain and they need it. Like when I was in that hospital room for 5 days and no one knew what was wrong with me, I came to the end of myself.
Gotcha.
Right.
Wow.
So she was like a fitness coach. She was like a fitness coach that helped you on the journey.
She was an independent coach, Optavia coach, just like I am today. That was her role. Okay. And I was not at that time. I am now, but at that time I was not. And she was encouraging me and kind of had already been in my inbox. And so I knew who to reach out to.
Got it. And from that journey, it kind of led you to where you are now.
Well, yeah. And I have to say, though, the real catalyst for me to pursue my health was quitting drinking in 2020. That was really.
Unless we have an alcohol sponsor. I don't know. We had an alcohol.
We don't. No.
Listen, I got nothing against having a couple cocktails, having a good time. But I just knew that it just was no longer serving me.
Right.
And the writing was on the wall.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I had to make a decision. And I had Jen who said, "You want to do this alcohol-free experiment with me?" And I said, begrudgingly, "Sure, I'll do it with you because you're my girl." And I spent that month educating myself and doing this whole experiment. And I just decided, like, the Lord was really speaking to me and it was really on my heart. And I just said, that's it. I'm done. And I'm not going to drink anymore.
So you're done.
That was 3 years ago.
Got you. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey.
Okay. How has this health journey helped you in your real estate business? Do you see these things going hand in hand as far as when it comes to mindset?
100,000%. Because, all right, here's the thing. I was telling these people during coaching my clients, I'm telling them to do these hard things, make these calls, do this follow-up, get out here, do the video, right? Have these hard conversations, spend the money. And here I am secretly not able to conquer one hard thing in my life. I was completely disingenuous. My audio wasn't matching my visual. I was not congruent with what I was saying and how I was living.
Wow.
And that's just the honest to God truth.
That's good.
But nobody would know that because from the outside, you know,
everything worked well.
I look the part and I played a part and I sound good in the things I say. Now, listen, the knowledge was there. Okay. The knowledge has always been there. I have lived experience that puts me as a professional in this field. Right. But what they didn't know is that, you know, I was sleeping in between my Zoom calls because I was so exhausted, because I was so unhealthy. And I was overeating. And, you know, when I was drinking, I was making all these promises to myself, like, oh, I'm going to get up and go to the gym. And then guess what? I have 3 glasses of wine that night before, and I don't get up and go anywhere. Wow. So how can I, in all transparency and integrity, coach my clients to do these hard things? And yet I'm afraid to do the hard things myself. I'm not an overcomer. I'm not conquering these things. Right.
Gotcha.
So when I really stepped into, I'm going to do this, you know, you guys know me, you follow me on my social media, all of you guys listening probably, hopefully do. I'm an open book. I share it all. Right. Yeah. And so I started documenting it, and I got my little health journey chart right over here. And I started, you know, putting my weight out there. And because I said, you know what, I'm going to, if I need this help, somebody else does. And when I really started living and that way, all of a sudden what I was saying started lining up with how I was feeling, and how I was feeling started lining up into, you know, my actions and things like that. So it helped me be a better coach. And it's, you know, now that I've overcome these hard things, I can help somebody else overcome. It may not be the same journey, but whatever it is, I understand what it's like to really get to the end of yourself and peel back those layers.
That's good.
Gotcha. So now a question. So you, I know you share a lot on social media. I follow you on social media. So you recently shared this amazing tattoo on your arm. Can you give us a story behind that, or where'd that come from?
Yeah, of course. So I know you guys probably can't see it, but yep. So this is my daughter. This is a portrait of her. She passed away. Oh my gosh, 2018, June of 2018. She was 22 years old. She passed away from fentanyl poisoning. And, you know, it was something she battled. She battled addiction. And so that her passing really is what propelled me to become an open book on Facebook. Because I would say before then, I only shared the highlight reels.
Gotcha.
Wow.
And then this hard thing happens. And I happened to be running a large office at that time. So I was very much out there. And, you know, there was really no way I could do it in private. And I remember having to make that post and really feeling convicted to share her story. I didn't want anybody else to do it. And so that was how it all started. And I was living in shame the whole time where she was struggling with addiction. I never talked about it. I never asked for help. There were just a few people that knew what was happening. And now I feel like it's very important for other people that are walking this with, whether it's with their children, their spouses, family members, whatever, to see someone that they can identify with speaking on the topic and sharing that awareness.
Wow.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. So now, so how were you able to, because I could never imagine that, I mean, losing a child, because we all talk about the you as an adult, as a parent, you're supposed to go before the child does. So how were you able to move forward after that major
mentally?
revelation?
Yeah. Oh, you guys are asking the hard questions. Okay.
That's what leaders do, right? They ask the hard questions.
Well, here's the thing about grief, and this is the grief I experienced is what you would classify as traumatic grief. It's the unexpected loss of someone you love.
Absolutely.
It's unexpected. It's different than someone's dying of cancer. Now, I'm not discounting that grief or how it feels, but when someone, first of all, it's double. It's like a double whammy. Because like you just said, as a parent, we never expect to bury a child.
No.
So that's traumatic. The unexpectedness of the way she passed is also traumatic, right? So when you're in that, when you're experiencing that, it's really hard. And then you top that with, I have another kid here who was 11 at the time she passed. I'm leading an office. I have all these people counting on me. I have a whole team. So it was a lot. It was really, really a lot. And something happened that can only be explained through someone who's on a faith walk, is that the Lord really just came in and took care of me. He answered, all my prayers. He gave me, all the strength I needed. He put people in my world that would have never been in it to help me and walk with me and just support me. And it gave me new purpose. Like, something I think we miss in grief is we don't stop to look at what we're meant to learn.
Okay.
The lesson.
And
okay.
I'm getting choked up, not even because I know she's in heaven and I know she's in a better place, but just what I've been able to learn from this experience. I would probably never have quit drinking had I not walked through addiction and started to learn about addiction and learn how it's a family disease, and you don't actually have to be an alcoholic to quit drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so just because I wanted to set a different example for my son. I wanted him to see, Sundays, us watching the game, and I don't have a drink. We go out to eat wings and I don't have to get a beer, or, there's not wine being served at every meal. Like, I wanted him to see that. I wanted him to see his mom dealing and coping with her own emotions without coming home and, pouring a drink, right? Like, I wanted him to see that. And because I have to think, if my daughter had seen that, would it have been different? Now, I don't live in that place because I understand that, I'm living in freedom, that I'm forgiven, and there's all these lessons that we all have to learn. But I'm aware. And I think the hardest part with addiction and anything like that, where your kids are living in a place of insignificance, or they feel less than, or they're dealing with their interpersonal struggles. Listen, y'all, as parents, we help our kids form to who they are. Now, they make their own decisions. Make their own decisions, okay? But we have to own our DNA in everything. And one of the hardest things for me to do was look at my DNA in this, and could I have never drank a day in my life and it could have still happened? Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'll never know, right? But I know I had to do what I needed to do to break those chains in my family.
Wow.
Right. And getting this tattoo of her is just a way for me to memorialize her and honor her.
Yes.
Right. Because, she's changed a lot of lives through her story.
Wow.
Yeah.
How has your faith, you talk a lot about your faith. How has your faith anchored you in this process?
I really don't know how people walk through a grief, a loss like this without faith. I really don't. Listen, I don't, and this is, call me crazy, but I have so many moms on my timeline that have lost children now. I don't know how they found me. I don't know how we're connected. Some of them, we don't even have any mutual friends, but we're friends. Right. And somebody reaches out to me almost every single week to share with me that, I'm in this place in my journey. I don't know how you did it. Can you help me? Can we talk? Almost all the time. And so I do see people walking through with no faith, right? They don't know the Lord. They don't have a faith. They're lost. They're angry. They could be believers, and this could shatter your belief. You have a choice to make when you walk through something hard. Are you going to lean in to what's true, or are you going to believe what the world's trying to tell you about what you're walking through?
Yeah.
That's good.
And leaning in is just like, it saved my life. That's all I can say. I would not be sitting here able to have this conversation had I not leaned in and just said, you know what? I'm not going to let the enemy win. It stops right here, right now. As a matter of fact, I'm at a point now in my faith and with my grief that I know somehow it was better for her and it's better for me that she's in heaven.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How?
Wow.
Look,
and that's only through the grace of God, right? That's not on my own accord that I can feel and think that way, right?
Yeah. Well, so I'm gonna steer the ship back to a little softer topic.
First, before you go there, we thank you for just
Absolutely.
being real and
Yes.
authentic in that moment. And I know how that is for you. So thank you for sharing that story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Mo.
So I want to shift gears a little bit. You mentioned at the beginning you help broker owners and you help team leads attract and recruit agents. So I want to know, why does recruiting and agent attraction have such a bad connotation in the real estate industry? Let me be clear, because everybody does it, not just EXP. We're talking every brokerage does it, but they do it in a different way. They have recruiting managers. We just recruit from agent to agent. So why is it such a bad connotation around in the industry of recruiting and agent attraction?
Well, I want to say my first instinct is to say scarcity mindset.
Okay.
Because leaders don't realize that there's a life cycle to every agent, and this, not even just real estate agents, but anyone on your team or organization. I don't care what company you're at. There's a life cycle to everybody, right? Somebody's going to join your organization. They may be there a short while or a long while. It has that, that depends on a couple of things. Number one, them, right? Like, what do they need? What are their goals? And two, what kind of leader are you?
Sure.
Okay.
Because people do outgrow us. They outgrow us. And then there's other times where leaders don't grow. So if you're here and your people are starting to surpass you in their growth and their desire for knowledge, and they're like, wait, there's got to be a better way. And you're over here saying, nope, it just needs to be this one way. Well, they're going to start looking for other ways because they know they may see a friend doing it. Yeah. So people outgrow us. That's number one. So I think there's a misconception of how long an agent is supposed to stay at a brokerage. As a matter of fact, in the first year, 84% of agents will make a move.
Wow.
Yes. That's a stat. In the second year, 64% will make a move.
Okay.
It's not till the agent gets to their 5-year mark where they're actually land somewhere where they're going to stay. So in that first 5 years, agents are kind of looking for the right fit, really. So number one, people don't understand that. Leaders don't get that. Secondly, they take it too personal.
Mm.
Now, what do you mean? Who take it too personal? The
Yeah,
team?
I'm about to say who's
The
taking
leader.
The
The
leader.
leader.
Okay.
They're
leader,
trying to
when the
recruit them. They're taking it personal.
Well, when the agent wants to leave, they take it too personal. So
The brokerage.
instead of looking at it as an opportunity to support that agent in their next season and build that bridge so that, like, Chris, even though you're going over here, I want you to know that we're going to build this bridge. And if things don't work out, you can come on back.
Come on back.
You know, they don't come because that's an abundance mindset. So when our ego gets in it and we're thinking about ourselves, then that's when that scarcity creeps in, right? And so people get overprotective and people start to take advantage and don't understand that that relationship is important. These people are not, you don't own them. They're not yours.
Right. Wow.
So
hey, say that again, please.
you don't own these people. You don't own them. They're not yours. You have to, it's a two-way relationship. You have to make deposits.
Yes.
You know, and you have to grow, and you can do everything right as a leader too. I want people to hear this, and people still leave you.
Right.
People will still leave you. They might want to, well, you know, and listen, I always told myself this because I would come into the office. Listen, y'all, I've had agents leave in the middle of the night. You come in and their office is empty. Okay.
Wow.
And I always tell myself this, that person is doing the best, making the best decision for their family, or so they think. And I pray it works out for them. But if it doesn't, I want them to know they can come back. And so, and the other part of the scarcity mindset is just like agents. And I always tell brokers this, if a agent's number one job is lead generation, right? Prospecting for new business and following up with, future business, then a broker's number one job is recruiting and attraction or a team leader. And most of them do not. They don't do it. It's hard. It's uncomfortable to call another agent and say, "Hey, listen, I've seen you around. I'm watching your career. I admire you. Would you be interested in getting together and having coffee? I'd love to learn a little bit more about your goals."
That's good. She just gave y'all a gem right there. Powerful.
That's a script.
That's a
free
script.
script.
That's a script right there.
I mean, that's how I met with Maurice back in the day.
You gonna talk about it?
Hey, we can talk about it. Let's talk about it. She definitely was on me now. I ain't gonna lie. She was on me.
Listen, Katrina, you share the story if you can of how you actually got to EXP. And can you talk about that little? Because I think what you just talked about when an agent gets ready to leave, one of your leaders gets ready to leave, how you were able to keep that door open enough to have that thing follow up coming back. Can you talk about that?
Are you talking about my transition? Like when I left my leadership role to...
Yeah, and then one of your leaders that was leaving to go to EXP and how you handled that.
Oh.
Can you talk about that?
So I did not have an abundance mindset in that moment. And my feelings were hurt when this leader was leaving. He had a big team, and I just kind of wrote it off. I thought that he is making a big mistake and he's going to come crawling back. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to do everything I can to recruit against this company.
It's funny because I know you're talking about, but I'm gonna keep going. Go ahead.
Keep going.
And then a few years later, and see, this is why.
Talk about it.
This is why we have to stay top of mind. We have to contend. We have to stay consistent. We have to keep sharing stories. We have to keep showing up, because when I found myself ready to make a move, which was probably about 2.5 years after he did, who'd I want to talk to? I wanted to talk to him.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, when I was ready to sign up for a health program, when I realized I needed a coach, accountability, a community, what did I do? I looked in my inbox. I looked on my Facebook. I went to somebody who I already knew. She was consistent. I knew it wasn't like a fly by the night thing. And I called her up and I said, let's talk about it.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's why we have to stay in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why relationships are such an important commodity in our business. I don't care what industry you're in. Relationships are the most important commodity of everything. Right.
I think relationships is better than money in some instances. If you have relationships, you don't even need the money in some places. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the relationship is going to get you into the rooms you need to be in front of the people you need to be in front of. Money's going to buy you a ticket, but it's not going to make you an introduction.
Right. That's good.
So let me ask you. I know we're running low on time. So now, what are you telling as a coach? What are you telling agents? Because we've had some slowdowns because of interest rates. It started to get into the holiday season.
Yeah.
And, most of the time people aren't buying or selling. So what are you telling agents to do now to where they can hit the ground running at the beginning of January 2024?
Right now, the advice I'm giving to agents is be more consistent than you've ever been in your entire career. Okay. You need to be posting. You need to be in your stories. You need to be in DMs. You need to be inviting people to coffee. I mean, don't get in trouble out there. And
don't fly in my DM.
Don't be jumping in folk inbox.
Keep it appropriate. Keep it appropriate. But I have a whole class I teach on how to turn likes into leads and all that. But anyways, they need to be consistent. And now that you're slower, now's the time to build those relationships, do those things that you've always wanted to do, whether it's maybe start a Facebook group for your community or start a podcast or join an athletic team, like a football team or a basketball team or volleyball, or do something, serve, get out. And the best way to help yourself is help somebody else.
That's good.
Right. So I'm telling them to just get out there and do that thing that you've always wanted to do, but you never had the time to do it. Get good at that.
Gotcha.
I know, Maurice, we're gonna have to go over time a little bit because I got like
go ahead, ask me more questions.
So, man, Katrina, you dropped so many different things tonight. You're at EXP now. You're at EXP. You left a big brokerage. A big name box brand brokerage, some initials out there. You left them. Now you're over here at EXP. Why EXP?
Why? Okay. So the model resonates with me. The model just resonates with me. Being in brokerage leadership for a while and kind of seeing behind the curtains, I feel like this is the company that closes those gaps that a lot of agents are looking for. It's the answer. And I knew a lot of cool people that were already there, so it was easy for me. I like to partner. That's really important to me.
Sure.
Is I want to be a partner. Okay. I don't want to go somewhere and have to work and feel like the company's here and I'm here. I want to feel like I'm walking alongside who I'm partnered with, and I want them to be vested in me like I'm vested in them. And so that EXP's model speaks to me in that way as well. Just like the locker room, just like Optavia. It's like I can have the business I want, right? But I'm powered by these amazing organizations that back me up, and I don't need to go out and purchase tools and systems. It's already done for me. So
that's good.
So since you were asking another question, I got a question really quick. I got a question. So
longest podcast ever. This is gonna be your longest one.
So this is my last question. You coach a lot of broker owners. What do you see as the common thing or common issue that most broker owners have, other than the scarcity mindset of recruiting and not want to recruit? What else do you see of why they don't have a business where they want the business to be?
Well, the scarcity mindset, I would say, is more about them losing agents, right?
Yeah.
It's more about how they feel when an agent leaves. It's
Okay.
and I go back to that point of we forget that everybody in our organization has a life cycle. Some are longer than others. Okay.
Yes.
So we can't take it personal when people want to leave, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I'll say there. I think the challenge with recruiting is it's just hard and it's uncomfortable. And most people do not want to do things that are hard or uncomfortable. Also, when a broker opens a brokerage, most independent brokerages, most of them were like a top agent. So they're really good at selling real estate. And it's a challenge to switch their wheels and focus on now, instead of lead generating for clients, I'm lead generating for agents. I'm looking to grow, right? And I often hear, oh, I don't want to grow. That's
Right.
I'm like, oh, pump the brakes.
Right.
Tell
Right.
me about that.
Yeah.
Because show me one organization that's successful
That doesn't grow.
without growth.
Yeah.
You cannot have both. You cannot have success and not grow.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So then it even comes into a place of abundance where we need to think who, not how, I don't know where my book is, but that's a great book to read. Who, not how. He says, what does he say? Employees ask how, leaders ask who. I may have that a little wrong, but I have the last part right. Like leaders ask who can do this, who can help me get profitable, who can help me with this task, who can help me with my organization, not how can I do it. That's a small space to live in, right? So your original question was,
what do you see as the common thread or common challenge for broker owners to where their business is not successful to where they want it to be?
Yeah.
Well, a couple of different things. It's hard to really answer that, but
go ahead. Give us a couple then. Give us a couple.
Okay. One would be firing themselves. Okay. It's hard to be the top agent in your brokerage and have the time you need for the organization to actually grow it and nurture it.
Okay.
That's that producing agent. I mean, the producing broker, a
Yeah.
competing broker. Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's a big challenge, right? So first of all, we got to fire ourselves.
Okay.
And right, got to fire ourselves and we got to become the business owner, the leader of the people, right? I think that another big challenge is being challenged with not having tools, systems, and models, right? And not having someone, because again, when you take your broker's license, they don't teach you how to hire agents, how to retain them, how to get them into productivity, right? How to have profit. So these are all tools that you probably need to hire a coach to help you with.
Right.
And then most coaching companies are not specialized in taking a broker owner and giving them that skill set. And that's why I love the locker room, because our platform just closes that gap for them, right? It just literally just closes it up for them and it puts them on a level playing field with any big box brand. And then lastly, since you've given me the option to give you more than one answer,
Absolutely, sure.
I would say mindset.
Tell us more about that.
Mindset, like, everyone, when I talk to leaders, one of the first things I say, so who's your ideal agent? Who is it? Right? They have no clue. Okay. And a lot of people think, well, I want to recruit. They think a producer is like them. So if they're producing $10 million a year, they think a producing agent is 10 million. Well, that's not the average producing agent. The average producing agent is doing not even
maybe 6 a year.
No, like if you're doing 2 million a year in this market that we're in, you're pretty much on the top.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you're not the top of the top.
Right. You're producing.
But you're in that. You're
above average.
Yeah, you're 100%. You're above average. So, and so then it goes into like helping them identify their ideal agent, and then once we do, them believing in their vision enough to go start talking to other people about it and getting those people bought into that vision. There's like a mental block between that, right? Kind of like when an agent, let's say you were a teacher and now you're a real estate agent. You don't feel qualified to be a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like you have to have that belief in yourself to be willing to get out there and talk to people. And it's basically the same thing with the brokers. It's just on a different level, or team leaders just on a different level.
Gotcha. That's good. All right. What's the next 5 years for Katrina? What's the next 5-year plan?
Oh, next 5 years. Okay.
2, 3, 5.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we ask tough questions on this show. We don't.
Okay. The next 5 years. So one of the things on my 5-year plan, probably about 3 years ago, actually it was 5 years ago now, but I started realizing it 3 years ago, started actually doing it, was to be completely virtual and being able to work from anywhere in the country. And so I've done that. I'm here. I work from anywhere. I love it. My next goal is to buy a couple properties that are in different places so I can kind of live in some different seasons. Like, I love Florida, but I also love to see the fall roll in, and I love Tennessee. I have a team there, so I want to get closer to them too, be able to spend some time with them throughout the year. Another thing is, your girl's single. I'd love to be married and live my life with a partner and do that next, get old with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to get old, though. You ain't got to get old, though. You got to get old.
Well, if you want to listen, my dad I used to call my dad old all the time. And he said, well, if you keep living, you're going to get old too. So yes, I do want to get old. I may not want to look it, but
there you go. There you go. That's what, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else. I want to just keep helping people, keep making an impact. One of the goals I have locally is to create education for hotels about human trafficking and about how they can help their people there, their guests there, if there's ever like an overdose, or what they can look for, and kind of like just more education, boots on the ground, serving in that arena where, we can see the vulnerable population, right? Instead of like turning an eye and giving them a hotel room key, taking a couple other steps and being able to maybe try to intervene, discreetly, and just bringing that education to those types of organizations too.
Wow. Well, listen, that's, man, we could probably just keep going. So we're going to have to definitely do another show, Maurice. We're going to have to do part 2
absolutely.
On that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. Katrina, we definitely appreciate you coming on the show, just being real, authentic, sharing your story with us. You didn't hesitate. You didn't hold back. And we definitely appreciate everything that you're doing, and everything that you're going to continue to keep doing. So, well,
thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks for everything you guys are doing. Like, just being a light in the industry and getting out there in front of topics, giving people a platform, it's really, really much overdue. So thank y'all for doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
If there's anything that you have going on that you need our assistance in, and you need some support from us, don't hesitate. Reach out to us. Real Talk of Real Estate is definitely going to support you in everything that you're doing. Real quick, go ahead and tell the people, any brokers out there that might be listening, any people out there that want to bring her in, go ahead and tell them how they can get in contact with you.
All right. So you can find me if you want to start your health journey, or you want to, I know me, I'm trying to stay healthy during the holidays, or you're looking for some extra help, with growing your organization. You can find me at Katrina.Abdullah at club. Katrina.Abdullah at club.com, I think. Hold on.
Is that it?
Yes. Katrina.Abdullah.club. Yes. We'll get it right.
Go back to our page, guys. We're gonna have it for you. We'll have it somewhere on the link.
I literally just tested it and forgot it. I guess I don't give it out enough to people.
We'll have it on our we'll put it up on our site. So
absolutely. And before we wrap up, let's pay one more bill before we get out of here.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Linda Garcia with Mortgages by Linda. We have over 21 years of experience in the mortgage industry, and we work with 15 different wholesale lenders to get you the lowest interest rates. We provide excellent customer service and look forward to helping you with your mortgage. Click on the ad below to apply.
All right, so that was our preferred partner, Miss Linda Garcia. You can reach her at 1877 Team MBL. That's TEAM MBL, and she can also be reached at mortgagesbylinda.com.
Absolutely.
So, Ms. Katrina, you have the final thoughts. Anything you want to leave the people with?
Well,
the floor is yours.
Yep. So let me clear it up. It's KatrinaAbdullah.club. So that's how they can reach me. KatrinaAbdullah.club. Okay. And what I want to leave people with is just get consistent and be inspiring. You don't need to be out there doing the most if you're not comfortable with that, but find something that is, ask yourself, what is holding me back from keeping promises to myself, and get in there and find someone to help you overcome that one thing. Like, that's going to change your life, is just overcoming that thing that's holding you back. Because when we don't keep promises to ourselves, we chip away at our own self-confidence, right?
That's good.
And we have to be able to lead ourselves before we can lead others. So that is what I'll share.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing and being so transparent. I know I didn't ask easy questions, but definitely.
I was kind of prepared. I knew it would be.
Just be ready.
Yeah.
Be ready.
Yeah.
Be ready. Be ready.
Well, once again, we thank you for showing up on the show.
Absolutely.
Coming to grace with your presence, being a real authentic, dropping nothing but gems. I got nothing but pages of stuff. And I can see why you're in the coaching space, and continue to keep doing your thing.
Awesome. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, what we got going on now? August 20, we have partnered with TNT Transaction Coordinator. We got an event coming up on the 20th at 11:30 to 1 at Landmark Title. And the other thing we just got announced today, October 26th from 11:30 to 1 as well. We got the ladies of EXP, Miss Jamisha Jackson and Joanna Torres, who are doing a social media marketing mastermind. Like, we're talking, these girls got like over 10,000 followers on Instagram alone.
Wow.
So you definitely want to be out for this mastermind. So
absolutely. Yep. So good stuff, man. Another great show.
Absolutely, man.
We got nothing but content coming out there. We got this month is gonna be packed. Next month is gonna be packed. We're preparing for something in December. So we rolling.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Ahead, no brakes, no gears. Just going.
No, sir. No, sir.
So, listen, we'll be back next week? Next week, 6 to 7.
Yep, we'll be back same time next week. 6 to 7. Same time, same great channel.
Great channel. Until next time, don't talk about it, be about it. We out. Peace.